We ready? Heavy online. Cloud code loaded. Sigma. Shake forever. Okay. All right. Hey, YouTube. I just want to make a video on, the waiting room. We'll call it the token waiting room. And I guess I'll start off by introducing myself. You can call me Sigma. That's Sigma. And I'm making this video because I'm currently waiting for my token usage to come back. And I know it's pretty awkward because I have two claudecode 20x usage max accounts. And I used it all within 4 days or so. Probably even sooner. And yeah, this is the waiting room. And so as I'm waiting, I'll let you know how I got into this mess to begin with. And I'm going to be talking about AI addiction. If it is AI addiction, honestly, I'm just going to go over like my story first and where I'm at and what's going on with the Sigma Shake. First of all, before I forget, this video is sponsored by Sigma Shake. That's me. That's the product. I'm making AI agent guardrails. You could think of it as your AI agent is the self-driving car for your code base, and my product is the seatbelt, airbags, and dash cam to monitor it all and to keep you safe. I have benchmarks comparing other guardrail solutions. I have a little demo on my website that you can check out. And I support desktop, CLI, and VS Code extension. Get it now at sigmashake.com for only $20 a month. And it's currently 50% off with the code Shake It Up at $10 a month for your first month. So check it out. Thank you. Now going back, let's go back to, I guess, my first encounter of getting addicted. It all started at my usual workplace, getting Claude code rolled out and getting exposed to the Opus 4.6 model. When I started using it, especially with API usage, it was blazingly fast. I was able to turn ideas into something that existed in less than an hour. And I was just like, man, I could really get a lot done. Like how far could I take this? So I created almost, 30 microservices and being able to monitor every aspect of, what I was working on at the time for my project. And it was able to do it. It also was a little expensive. It racked up almost, over $2,000 of credits a day. And in a span of a week, in a span of like 15 hours per day, it reached up to almost 100,000 in the first week of just using it straight 7 days. And I was like, this is getting expensive, but I was told by the company that I needed to chill. So I chilled and I, got a personal account instead at $200 a month for Claude Code. Because I figured, the cheaper plans aren't gonna give me my fix. I'm gonna need to get the max. And so I used the max. I started with creating like a mono repo as as the model suggested. I started making plenty of services, and sooner or later, I was practically done with all my credits in the first 3 days. And I was like, damn, like, what? Wait, like it took after that 3 days, I waited another 4 days until I got my reset day, and I was just like, man, it sucks not having a superpower to like create all this stuff. I wonder what would happen if I bought another account. So I did. I convinced myself that if the calculations were right, I could just use one account for three and a half days, and the other account for 3.5 days. And even then, with 2 accounts, I still was able to like finish it with before the reset day of the first account. And so months later, after or a month or two later, after working with 2 accounts, Claude or Anthropic released a bunch of new features to use your tokens faster, like ultra code, workflows, agent teams. And when I use those features, it not only consumed tokens faster, but it got tasks faster, tasks done faster as well. And I was like, how do you balance between the two? Like, I'm creating a product that's going to be very critical. Any bug needs to be fixed as soon as possible. I have a few users, few viewers looking at it. It doesn't look good if it has issues. So I just kept using everything at its max capacity, and sooner or later, I eat up an account in like a day or two. And so now I'm in this like dilemma of waiting, for a week or so, or not a week, like maybe 3 days just to get my reset day again. And I know, the suggestions are to use plan mode and use some cost token things, reduce the amount of context, reduce your skills, reduce all that stuff. But when you trust the model to just do everything for you, you just leave it in their hands, and you eventually lose that like thinking capacity to like be mindful of how much you're spending, because it's just so easy to put it on auto mode and just let it all work for you. And it makes sense. Like, I should have just been more frugal, sipping on the plan mode and executing on the sonnet and haiku and all that stuff. But you notice when you do that, you'll still have to iterate using the latest model anyway to review and supervise the work and get it done. And it's always just like the context switch. That's the model switching. You get tired of doing it after a while, and you just begin to just trust auto mode with Opus, with all the thinking involved to get the problem solved. Because when the problem not solved, you keep prompting it over and over and over, and the problem's still not solved. But when you do it with the max thinking, max effort, it just gets done. Like, there's no you feel a lot better that feature is fixed, so you tend to just trust everything max anyway. And I think that's what we're heading towards right now. We're just spending, no matter how much it costs, you're willing to spend the most expensive model, max effort, just to get the problem solved. And I'm pretty sure it's not just happening to me. It's happening to plenty other vibe coding people out there as well. And I got circling back to how I'm able to do all this. I'm able to stream on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, 12 hours a day, every day. And some people wonder how I do that, why I do that. And the reason is I used to play, video games all the time, and that habit never dies. I think I could show you my Steam account with over, well, almost 8,000 hours of Dota 2 playing the game. That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours. Some people think that once you sink in this much time into something, you'll never go off of it. However, as soon as I got exposed to Claude code, with Opus and API usage and all that other stuff, I was hooked. Being an idea person, you really could change the habit really quickly. And it felt a lot more productive to just switch from playing video games to vibe coding, which seemed to be like the better trade-off. Even though you're spending like 400-ish, I'm spending 400-ish a month on Claude code. It's not normal at all, but it's definitely a hobby still. Trying to not make it a hobby. But yeah, hopefully, the product that I'm making, works out. It's sort of like a dream right now. I'm trying to create a product that works on Mac, Windows, Linux, and have to vibe code my way to make it past the App Store and Microsoft Marketplace, and still working on it. I did do a lot of refactors, rewrites, just to make it easier to work on all three platforms. Because the model, gives you an idea of what to use and what frameworks, but sometimes those frameworks don't work out. And it got me refactoring the whole code base and stuff. But I'm working towards the goal. I'm close. I feel close. I bet a lot of people are trying to figure out how to get their products in the hands of their customers and users. And that's what I'm doing as well. But going back to AI addiction, let's see. I spent 8,000 hours almost in Dota 2, switched to Claude, and it's just creating stuff for me. And the thing is, I'm not addicted to the prompt part. The prompt part of like just asking a question, getting something back. I don't really get much.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I don't really get much dopamine or rush from a response from a AI prompt. I get the dopamine from just seeing my product existing. Like, this is my product existing, and it exists in the web, it exists as a desktop application, and all that stuff. So seeing my ideas come to life is somewhat a satisfying feature. Oh, let me get that back up and running. Because it's still building. And like, I also noticed as users are using the product, they're most likely like non-technical Windows users, and coming from a Linux, Mac background, I really had to pivot to cater to those type of users that like aren't security aware, security conscious of how dangerous AI agents could be, and what attack vectors there are if you don't apply the right guardrails. So I'm pretty much like the antivirus, EDR type of software for AI agents. And that's what I'm working towards. And the reason why I'm so adamant about working on this product solution is because no frontier is going to help each other. No frontier AI company is going to help each other make their product better when it comes to security standards. And so creating a product that supports all the AI agents out there makes it easier as an opportunity for me to create a single solution that multiple teams could use their own harness, AI agent, etc., and keep a consistent guardrails across all their projects. At least that's the opportunity I see. There's also the opportunity of like non-technical users trying to vibe code, and they don't know that you need to use a sandbox. They don't know that you need to use like permissions to prevent it from doing dangerous things. They trust the harness. Honestly, if the harness is giving you a slop or doing dangerous behaviors, you want to at least have a secondary fallback or solution to prevent it from going nuts. It's the same reason why like Microsoft has Microsoft Defender, but every company requires to have an EDR endpoint protection solution because Microsoft Windows doesn't do the job of protecting their users. They need somebody else. So hopefully I become that somebody else, working on a solution to secure and harden and protect all consumers from their AI agents. They don't know it yet, but they hear it all in the news of using too much token usage or dropping a production database, deleting accounts, doing transactions they're not supposed to, going to websites that they don't approve. It's all there. It's all in the news. But the only thing that the harness could do is only handle so much scenarios, not all scenarios catered by the user or the team. And what else? What else, guys? What else? Going back to AI addiction. When I run out of tokens, guys, I sort of feel like I lost my superpowers. I'm not sure if others feel the same way. And it's like, yeah, if you give me money, I'll give you I'll use it. I'll buy another account, type of thing. It's even at that point of a request. It's like one of those people you see on the streets, or maybe an addict of some sort. They are always asking for money to feed into their addiction, right? I started to feel the same way. And it feels even worse when you're spending $400 on it a month. But for the productivity, it's sort of worth it, because if you hire a full-time person at like $15 an hour, it's going to be way more expensive. And they wouldn't have the capability to do anything that the AI could possibly do. So there's that, like juggling the expense. There's also the race, the AI race, right? The race out of the lower middle class, a permanent lower class. If you don't make it up there, all these people working for AI companies are making $10 million a year or more in compensation. When the companies like Anthropic, OpenAI, NVIDIA, etc., when these private companies go public, there's going to be a ton of multimillionaires just buying up everything possible that they can to keep their wealth. And it's going to be a strange world, guys. It's going to be a strange world. and we're all trying to race to it in a way. And it feels, well, I'm probably not as bad as all the other folks that are already doing well off and are spending tens of thousands or 100,000s in tokens. Like I could just look, if I were to look at my usage on just token usage alone by API requests, my project's at $200,000 right now in just API usage in just, 2 months. 2 months. And I've, gone through about 71 billion tokens, mostly input tokens. Output tokens, probably way less than that. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like 600 million in output tokens. But yeah, it's and I've created over 70 services. 70 services. Which is insane. Insane. We're gonna look at my plugins here, see how much services I created. I'm at 77. 77 services, almost 80 services. Going through every single service is mine. And I'm pretty sure other people, technical, would probably do the same. Like my whole stream, my whole Twitch, YouTube stream, all operated by Claude code. Setup, the dancing little characters, the games, all that stuff, all managed by Claude. But I do at least do my due diligence. I at least try to get everything. I set everything at a high bar from a security perspective. With 10 years background in security engineering, I want to make sure that the product I release is at its best and based on my standards. And I set a really high bar for myself to make sure that the product is hardened, not vulnerable to like supply chain attacks or doing bad practices for every single service that I have. And so I'm probably spending more than any other average vibe coder out there because I at least care that my product is at a high standard. Other people probably not so much. They probably just make their products, release it to the store, but don't really do any due diligence on what they're creating. I sorry about that. I at least want to make my product good to use for every operating system, so I at least track that as metrics to create that parity between features of operating systems. Even for the harness itself, I want to be able to support any harness, any tool, and most importantly, distribute on several areas to support. Instead of just downloading from the App Store, you could download by NPM, the CDN, PyPy, crates, etc. All that should be possible, and I'm trying to make that possible. It's just taking a little work, taking a little work. But what can I say? I'm only one person, and I'm not trying to like have a full team. It's already hard enough, guys, to find a person that thinks and works like me that will work 12 plus hours a day vibe coding to get their product launched. We're a rare breed. We're a rare breed, and especially being able to token max is another skill that not everyone has. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to build. the skills of token maxing. It's not for everybody. I mean, I'm able to use up 60+% per day on token on weekly usage in a single day. I'm not sure people are the same. Then again, I'm probably throttled, most likely throttled because of I'm a subscription user and not an API user. But I'm trying to take advantage of everything I get. Right now, I'm just trying to like cross my fingers that Claude does a reset. What else? What else, guys? For this video, I just want to go over like the quick AI addiction that I'm usually going to go over, but like copy and paste in some script from GPT. I just got some ideas. I wasn't playing video games, that's true. For a whole 2 months, I only played one game out of the whole 2 months that I've been vibe coding and streaming. Ever since I got into the vibe coding habit. Scrolling social media, I mean, I am the social media, so there's that. And yeah, I was building. The one thing that was interesting about the presentation that was generated is like what the reward loop is possibility. The possibility to get that $1 million idea rolled out and sold. That's the possibility. That's the addictive habit that we're building. The next breakthrough, and then the creating. Yes, we're going through that. Next is the infinite slot machine. We write a prompt, get a spike in our imagination, and then do it all over again. That was an interesting concept because usually you either get something bad or good, and that's actually what we're getting right now. Every time we submit a prompt and get an output, or either it works or it doesn't. And I feel like what's interesting is you could throw money at the problem, and the money is tokens. So we're throwing a ton of tokens to solve the one problem, and I think that's why it's been so rewarding. Is like the more tokens you throw at it, the problem is eventually solved. Vibe coding in the wild. Yes, we're coding for 12 hours a day, guys. 12 hours a day plus. We've rewrote our projects several times. We went from coding everything in Rust because it's safe, secure, fast. However, we migrated off of it, or I migrated off of it because it was too slow to compile. And for a mono repo, it would take forever. It would take forever to, hello Isekai, okay, what's up? It would take forever to compile a mono repo of a Rust project. That's why I migrated off of Rust to TypeScript for everything, because everybody's coding in TypeScript for all their projects. But then you realize, oh, it has a ton of runtime errors and issues. It is, and the binary is super big to distribute. And it impacts performance. It's slow. So I started using Electrobun as a solution for creating my desktop application, and that worked well. That worked well for a bit until I ran into some edge cases when publishing to the Apple Store and to Windows. And it was taking a very long time to like compile and release. And so I did the one last refactor and rewrite, which was to just use the native languages for the operating systems my product supports, which is for Mac, I'm using Swift. For Windows, I'm using C#. And ever since then, I have no issues distributing to those platforms now, or at least not distributing, but like creating and developing something that works for those platforms and operating systems. And then the last thing is the engine that I have. The engine was rewritten from Rust to TypeScript to like Zig and Elixir, and now it's all just Golang. And I trust Golang. I use that work for years. It's stable, distributes to all operating systems. It compiles really, really fast. And so it turned like a 1 hour compile time and distributing time to like 30 minutes. So I think pretty satisfied with the results of that. Because I tried Tari, I tried Electrobun, tried all these things, and now finally have somewhat of a stable stack to create the product on. So now I stopped the framework and tech stack switching. And now the other part that recognizes is that in vibe coding, you're creating a new product nearly every day. And that's true. For this whole stream, everything's run on claudecode. So I created like games, I created metrics, I created combos, visual effects. Let me see a visual effect right now. Let me see. Okay, will this work? Boom. Boom, guys. Boom. So I have that. I have that for the effects. I'll keep that on for a bit. And we've created over 77 services, guys. 77 individual services to manage the stream, to manage our production services, for the site and other things. And so we're doing a lot of work. We've created a lot of things. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool. Feels like more technical debt is being created, but at the same time, I'm keeping track of the technical debt and where I'm lacking. So, once I get the inference, I start working on fixing the technical debt. Other stuff is the endless hyper-specific feature additions. This is true because, every single small thing for the UI, the user experience, the onboarding, everybody experiences different things, and trying to cater to all of it takes some time to add all those features and add it, make sure it works. Because feedback is very valuable. So gotta keep adding those features and feed from the feedback we get. Yeah, this is interesting. Like the simulation, the feel of a finished complex project, and then the reality: 0 users, 0 deployments. So I do admit this happened to me because I when I first created the project, the first 30 days, first month, I finally had like a working prototype. But then when it came to like finding users, no one would use my product. They don't know that they need it. They don't know why they need it. They don't know how it works. So that's when I started creating my own like YouTube channel and Twitch channel, because every platform that I shilled my product on, I got banned. Reddit banned, Hacker News, Product Hunt, X. They're all just not shadow. They're like shadow bans where like you can't really post stuff unless you pay or have like a ton of karma or whatever points. So my solution is make my own platform, and eventually, there's a niche market for vibe coders out there that will join and see what's up and want to know what's going on. So eventually, I had 1 user, 2 users, 10 users, 30 users now trying it out. And we've deployed a lot of things. So this doesn't work for everyone. And building in public really helps a lot. And now we're at this one little problem where like The solution we create solves a specific problem, but we don't heavily rely on AI for it to work or for it to function. So eventually, once the product sort of stabilizes, it will be valuable as a deterministic guardrails. This one was I didn't really have much take on this. There's a reality distortion of everything instantly feels solvable, but actually it takes time. So it's not instant. The patience attrition. I do feel this a lot, guys. Some people want the work to be done fast. Others don't care. They just want the output. It's a combination of the two. Idea inflation. There's times when we're like, just before reset time, we have all these tokens and we need to use them now. So you got token max. But yeah, every thought that you have, you feel like, oh, if I have this feature, people will buy it. Might not apply to everyone. For all ideas. Creating in hours took months in value. Yes. Before, coding from scratch was very expensive. And so getting a software engineer that gets paid 100, 200K a year took them, several months just to get something good out there. And you stop seeing yourself as someone that learns, as someone that prompts. Yeah. Although I have ideas on what the stack should look like and architect it, like doing the implementation, I just don't have it in me to actually write code anymore, and neither do the Anthropic engineers. If AI disappeared tomorrow, could you still do your work? Honestly, right now, I feel like I can't, and I need to throw money at the problem to keep working on it. And it's just not me. It's several others feeling the same way. Several others feeling the exact same way. And we're just stuck. That's why we're watching this video, guys. That's why I'm making this video, because we're stuck. We're stuck, guys. We have no tokens. We could try the free tokens, the free trials, but it's not going to be hooked up to all of our, skills, our markdown files, our memories. It's still offloaded. And even if we did use an open weight model, it won't work the same way. We wish it did, but it won't. The harness got us by the Sigma balls. Anyway, go into this productivity paradox. We definitely have a paradox where we have a lot of ideas and code generated, but the product shipped is going down. We're not able to ship everything because we just keep coming up with more ideas and more ideas. And then vulnerability insertion. We have, let's see here, continuously rewards curiosity, highly curious people are uniquely susceptible because the addiction isn't pleasure, it's discovery. Yes. Creating the next big thing to make after your feature is done, that's the discovery right there. And we just keep going over and over, trying to find new stuff to work on. The ledger of hidden costs. Users spend thousands chasing the next breakthrough, not because they're irrational, but because the system is designed to make the next breakthrough generally feel close every single day. That's true. Every single day that I work towards releasing a product and getting it published just feels like I'm getting closer and closer. But maybe I'm going further and further away. Maybe there's more stuff that I need to do. Paradigm shift. Isolation barrier. You aren't addicted to coding, you're addicted to building. You aren't addicted to building, you're addicted to the dopamine of discovery. Yes. AI is not building a product for you, it's building a personalized, interactive simulation of success designed specifically to keep you inside the loop. You have unknowingly transitioned from a creator into a consumer of your own infinite potential. Wow, that's deep. That's deep, guys. That hit me straight in the feels. That we're just, stuck in our own loop of infinite feature creep. Infinite feature creep. Recalibrating the system architecture. When the conversation itself becomes the activity, the loop becomes self-reinforcing and encapsulating. Used for infinite conversational exploration. Yeah. It feels like we're creating something novel each time. Like I met somebody that was creating something that will change the entire world. But he's stuck. It's not published anywhere. It's stuck on his local computer. He hasn't gotten released. Says it's billions and billions of dollars of ideas potential, but not released yet. And then the escalation of capture. Once your imagination is captured and perfectly simulated back to you in real time, logging off becomes the hardest thing you'll ever do. And yeah, I feel that's the same way. I feel that's the same way. Hey, Coffee. I'm just about to end my video about AI addiction, and I think I'll close at that, guys. Thank you for watching.